Hey, how's it going? It's Grant with the Garden of Eater,
And Shelby.
and we're joined tonight with Chance from
Hello.
Scape,
What's up?
and we also got Brian Covey from well, he's not from Aquachar, but yeah, he's on the way. He's trying to load up in the shed right now. But tonight's discussion is going to be all about algae issues, how to prevent it, how to control it, some positive algae that we might even want to grow in the tanks. So we'll also talk about a few other things. Shelby's got a question for the team that I thought, well, me and Shelby have different opinions, so we're going to leave it up to Chance and Brian to decide for us. So we got that to look forward to. And then, so me and Chance talking behind the scenes with Shelby, and we definitely want to do these streams on his channel as well. So we're just going to maybe pick a time, and maybe, 1 week we do it on Chance's stream, 1 week we do it on ours. So you got a bug?
Dude, there's so many mosquitoes.
How's it going, S? How's it going, Jamie Anderson?
How you doing?
Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. People are just now rolling in. I noticed people really didn't get into our other stream until we were 20 minutes in, so we can just
We'll just talk for 20 minutes then, about nothing.
Any updates with the immerse setups or the greenhouses or anything like that? Any announcements you got?
Yeah, I need more greenhouses. I've completely loaded them up again. I'm back up to over 200 species of plants.
Nice.
I got a whole house devoted to crypts. I'm up to almost 60 different species of crypts now. Stem plant wise, I don't even know. I'm cranking them out. I'm hoping to get 3 bins each of each species before I start selling them. So the stuff that you guys have seen me throw up for auction recently, that's from me splitting bins apart and making more of it. And that's kind of what I left untrimmed that I know that I don't need yet. So I'll throw them up for auction and stuff like that. But yeah, man, lots of new plants. As far as terrestrials too, a whole bunch of philodendrons propped up that are ready to be repotted. So I'll have a load of those ready to go soon too, as well as some anthuriums.
And we could grow those in the pots of water.
Oh yeah.
We'll need one of those off of you when you got them ready to split.
I gotcha. I'm about ready to flood my farm tank too, as well as my Scape for IAPLC. So
are you going to do C-Chem as well?
I am.
So you're going to do a separate tank for both?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I may even throw together a quick Dutch tank for IAPLC as well.
Yeah. When you'll have to send me a notification with all the deadlines, so I can see if we can make any of those possible. But
I'll have to
send you in a Dutch. I promise you that.
I'll have to send me a notification. I have no clue.
Well, one of the things I've actually been more organized with this year, and I haven't done this in the past, is I've got a little calendar book, and I've written down all of the dates and times of all the events. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we got Brian joining us in the backstage. Are you ready, Brian? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready for. All right, he's ready already.
He's ready already.
Already.
Awesome, Brian. How you doing, man?
Joys of technology. Just trying to get a link on my computer.
Well,
got my fluorescent immerser shirt on.
Nice, man. I see no work has been done on the arch, though.
So I had Reefapalooza this weekend and my daughter's birthday last weekend. So I promise next week or next time I will have some work done on the arch.
How was rap?
It was fun. I'll take a second and give a moment of true marketing genius. So, if you go to one of those shows, those booths, right in the premier booths, it's $10,000 for one of those shows. So LAX Aquarium, they got like a place out there. Instead of spending 10 grand on a booth, they went and rented 2 Lamborghinis and posted their stickers all over it and parked it right out in front of the show. So people are like taking pictures with the stickers. So the price is about the same for renting 2 Lamborghinis as it is for one booth at one of those shows for some of them.
Man, that's a power play right there for sure.
But I was like, that's actually kind of cool because like they literally probably got tagged in the most out of anybody at that show because they put their logos on the Lamborghini.
All right. The other thing to do would be like pony rides, right?
Hey, that's one.
Yeah. But so one of the first topics that I thought we'd talk about tonight, and we don't have like a lot of people in here, so maybe some of the people that rewatch might get a chance at this. But I was hoping one of our viewers, followers, etc., might be doing a little graphic design, dabbling in it. We don't need anything fancy. I would like to get us a team Scape logo, so the Florida Scape logo, and then we'd like a little intro thing that we can play before the live streams instead of playing my own. It's nice to have something before the live stream starts just to get everybody settled. But I'd like one for the Florida Scape team. So
I say we just get one of Brian dancing in a fedora.
That might be an actual memory I don't remember, but
with a big grandma's cookie bag.
That works.
But yeah, no, and maybe if we don't find someone to make it for us, any super chats or anything like that, donations, we'll put towards making a logo first. Mainly because we won't be having to pay for our aquascape supplies or plants or anything for the next contest. So I'll kind of move on to that being our next topic. So rules have changed a little bit for the aquascape contest at Aquashella. They have a LifeScape contest sponsored by Fluval. They've recently brought in other sponsors so that way all the hardscape and everything was provided. So instead of people being able to prefabricate a scape at home and bring it to the show already finished, everything will have to be done on the spot. We can kind of make a design and draw something up and try and match that the best we possibly can when it's time and set and ready. But when it's all said and done, we only have certain rocks to choose from. But we were promised there's going to be a copious amount of aquascape material to choose from. So any donations or money we make off of the streams, we will put towards a logo or maybe just dinner for us one night when we're down there. But he's got a mosquito problem, eh?
Dude.
But I really like these rules. I feel like us as a team, especially, we're all procrastinators. Oh man,
I can't say it right because you're saying it wrong.
Yeah, I messed everything up. Man.
I do not.
We do everything very well last minute.
I don't procrastinate. I appreciate the development stage.
So
I just keep planning. That's what I say.
How's it going, Sandy? Hey, Nano, the aquarium guy. What a fair for live. Yeah, no, it's how Awasi does it, and I really like that too. But like at Awasi, you're kind of limited. You only get so many, materials to work with. Only so much time too. Yeah. So this is 2 days instead of an hour, and 6 pallets instead of 6 boxes. So it should be a lot of fun.
You mean 6 piles, man? They didn't even give us 6 boxes. They gave us 6 little piles.
I was considering
on a 6 foot table,
the substrate, everything combined, included. But
it probably all fit on the 6 foot table.
The cool thing is the entry fee didn't go up, so it's still only $200 to enter. You get to keep the scape, not the scape, the tank, the lights, the filter, and the substrate. And then, of course, if we win in Chicago, the $5,000 prize. But
yeah,
I don't want to be too cocky, man. Can't be like that all the time. But I had something else.
Sorry, Shelby rolled her eyes at you.
Because I'm talking too much. You guys talk.
No,
No,
you said you
you're
can't be like that all the time, and she
talking
gave you that
all
look.
the
No. Okay.
time.
Yeah, I didn't know when
Yes.
she rolled her eyes. It's kind of hard to watch everybody.
Mm.
There's a lot of people on the screen, a lot of action going on. But
I know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like kill this bug, dude. God.
he's trying to kill you or like feast off of you.
He's huge.
So I was hoping maybe somebody had some algae questions. They'd start rolling in here and there. However, if anybody had some good algae stories, I kind of asked Chance. Chance just blew me off on any algae stories. So I don't know. Brian, you
I've got
joined in late.
stories. No, I
You
didn't
got
blow you off.
stories?
I've got stories, man. I've been growing aquatic plants for like 2 decades. I got stories.
All right. Well, Brian's eating a donut or something. So I'll let you go
Nah,
ahead.
I'm eating a Hershey's Easter egg, kids candy.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, man. So then let's hear your best algae story then, Chance.
Yeah, man. Every tank I do ends up starting out, because I run all high tech, high light, CO2 injected tanks. I blast the hell out of the plants with light. So I always run into an algae stage. Any immature CO2 injected tank is going to have an algae phase, but it's all about finding balance. I mean, in our hobby, this word cycle gets thrown around like a damn hand grenade. And honestly, there's no such thing as a cycle in this hobby. It's balance, Once you achieve a balance of plant mass and, whatever it is you're trying to feed it, be it light, CO2, nutrients, or whatever, once you have that plant mass that's balanced out with whatever that is, you're good. It's basic Lieberg's law. All you need to do is take the food that is there for the plants and make sure you have enough plants for the food. It's real simple. So I mean, there's always that stage where your soil's leaching a lot of ammonia, or you're trying to figure out your dosing, trying to figure out how much of whatever you're putting in this tank, or you're dialing in your CO2. There's always that stage where you have algae in the CO2 injected game. But like I told you when we were backstage before, I typically, how I handle algae and joke or whatever, I just
No. You gotta say that. That's a different question.
All right.
You gotta leave that for in a little bit. I was just wanting to know, like, crazy algae story, like.
Yeah, dude. Always, it looks like it turns into. I get like mountains of fluffy green shit for like a week or two, and then time goes by. I basically just continue with my maintenance, continue with my horticultural care, focus on plant growth. I don't focus on the algae. It is what it is. And my horticultural care and the plant growth succeeds. The algae goes away.
You ever find some algae you couldn't identify?
I got a lot of resources, so none that I couldn't identify, but I found some weirdo algae.
So like new to you, you know what I mean?
Things I've had to research for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I mean, I've been at it for a while, man. I've had some funky algae. I've had some weirdo like aquatic funguses and like some other crazy, just weird bacterial blooms that have like been stationary in the water column. It looks like a floating little ball. All sorts of weird stuff.
But we've been keeping shrimp tanks. We had been keeping tanks for like 7 years. Never seen this algae before, and all of a sudden it popped up. And I showed a couple people, and nobody knows what it is so far. So I'll show. I got some pretty good pictures of it up close. Like, they're blurry, but like you can definitely tell like there's something weird going on. So
maybe I'll don't know what it is,
on
man.
the live stream one day.
Huh? I'm doing a talk at Guapa in May, which is the Greater Washington Aquarium Aquatic Plant Society, or I can't even remember. I'm butchering the name of their club, but they're like the godfather of plant clubs, and they have some of the biggest masterminds in the horticultural end of it up there. Kevin Allen. So if you send me a picture of that, he actually specializes in fungus, and that's what he'll know it offhand. So.
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you. Shelby's like, get rid of it. I'm like, nope. It's mine. I like it. the shrimp, it doesn't bother the shrimp. They're just kind of grazing on it. It's not killing the moss. The moss is just kind of like living underneath
It
it.
looks like Barney threw up in our tank.
That's awesome.
It's not like a pretty purple. It's gross. I don't know how it's not killing anything.
So what about
Moss
you?
is growing underneath it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like
Yeah.
the moss is still growing, and it's
Weird.
on top of it. Like it's almost like a mushroom.
That's awesome.
Want me to go get a picture of it?
Yeah.
I mean, I have pictures of it if you want. I can pull it up.
Hey, Big Tank Hank.
Oh, it's your
So,
boy, Big Tank Hank. How you doing, man?
I've got an algae story, and so in my backyard, I've had ponds, not quite as many as you guys do, but I had a pond. Well, I still have it, but it's back there. It just had some tetras that would pick on my plants, so they kind of went in timeout, and this pretty much like 15-gallon little tote that I have sitting on by my deck outside. So one of the cool things that happened was like I don't do much to it. It got a hair algae outbreak and stuff like that. So I was like, he got it. It got a hair algae outbreak, and I was like, okay, I'll pull that out sometime. But I realized that these tetras, they started spawning in there. So like I saw a bunch of babies. So like I was like, crap, I can't take this out. Like I'm gonna have to leave the hair algae in there or whatever, because usually I just manually remove it and don't really care. But like a couple weeks later, so I left it in there. I had to leave the hair algae in there, and they're basically using it as a spawning mob. So a couple weeks later, I went out there. All the adults had their heads bitten off, and I felt like I was in Dumber and Dumber. And I'm like, what the heck happened? So to my best of my knowledge and from my internet sleuthing, a raccoon was in my backyard, and they actually took the hair algae and used it as a net to cap all of their things, all of the babies. So like people think that people are the only ones that use tools, but like I didn't even think about it would be a natural tool for a raccoon to use to like catch it. And apparently they're notorious for just eating the heads off of fish.
That's crazy, man.
Weird.
So my crazy story is I had a golf ball last week, and Matt's like, dude, what are you? That's not your ball. It's floating. And I'm like, nah, it's just on top. It was like legit on top of some algae floating in the pond, and I was able to get the ball out. So yeah, no, it was definitely my ball. And then he's like, no, that's a floating ball. You're not hitting a floating ball, because I just bought brand new Callaway Diablos, and they're definitely not floaters. So he's like, no. And then I had to drop it in the water to like show him that it didn't float. And I'm like, see, now I got my hand all wet for nothing, man.
Oh, you didn't play it off of the algae?
No, I'm not trying to get wet. No.
I know that's always a bad mistake.
If it's like a tournament and it's rules and stuff like that, I'm hitting it. Like,
yeah,
I'm about it. But just me and Matt out having a good time. I gotta go home and do tank work and stuff like that. I'm gonna move it. We play the rule: if you can find it in the water, no stroke taken away.
You get to play the arm wedge.
But so what about you, Shelby? Any good algae stories? I can't find this algae. I know I took really good pictures.
Stories.
What about you, Shelby? Any algae stories?
Yes.
Hey, Shelby, you got any algae stories?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there's a ton of different times where we've had algae. My least favorite is in our Sulawesi tanks, because we keep trying different plants, and it's hard to have plants that will take really hard water like that. And then you have the coral kind of substrate. But your plants usually end up dying, and then you get hair algae. But we did find out mollies really like to eat it. So they're taking care of that problem in that tank. We just gave up on it so long ago. But that I can't believe how much mollies will just devour it. Like they enjoy it like a little snack. But other than that, I mean, there's blackbeard algae. Everyone's got everything, but high flow is terrible. That it looks so beautiful in the tank until the blackbeard algae loves it more than the plants. So
here. I found the pictures of the algae, but like I remember I sent them to somebody. So Rob Lupton, or not Rob Lupton, Rob Bloomfield. Sorry, man. I had to go through your messages because I sent them to him, and it's like a crazy looking algae with like little peaks forming and stuff like that. But one of the things I noticed is we call it algae in America, and George Farmer calls it algae. So is that like a UK American thing?
Well, algae, yeah. I mean, it's tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if one was like a certain type of algae and it's algae or something like that, but then it's like just a common term that I see them using all over in the UK for hydroponics and George Farmer and all different things. So it's been, I don't know, fun to hear George say it though.
Algae.
Yeah, I don't mind this bit of algae right here. If
Yeah,
you
it looks-
step back and take a look at it from a bit far, it looking a little natural, so I don't mind this blackbeard algae.
Yeah, no, not good enough.
No, I'm sorry.
You're
I
really
said
good at
algae.
accents. That one's
Blackbeard
just not on
algae.
there. That's just not there.
It's hard to make fun, not make fun, but do an accent of somebody else, especially somebody
Sorry, I had to put that up there.
you like and
Mosquitoes 3,
respect.
chance 0.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
for real, dude. For real.
Florida for you.
They're horrible. Well, I got a nice mosquito net for this thing, but I didn't get it up in time, so I'm like regretting that now.
Oh, so you got one? And it's just not.
Yeah, I just didn't put it up.
That's rough.
It is rough, dude.
So should we do a round robin of like what we do to get rid of algae or keep it in check at least? Because I don't really know that my goal's never really to get rid of it.
Well,
Sure.
It looks like a coral.
I did all this work to find this picture. So while it's still on topic, I figured we'd go over this, and then that was going to be the next thing. And then Chance is going last since he's going to ruin it for everybody. But you ever seen anything like that, Mike?
Can't say that I have, brother.
I had an
Yeah.
Australian guy come
reef
in.
tank.
Can you send me that picture on Messenger?
Yeah. You get the other picture where it's zoomed in?
Mhm.
It's probably like real grainy from the stream, but yeah. That's the same one.
I need to go train with some Shaolin monks, bro. Work on my like skills.
Get some chopsticks.
Oh, you know what you need to do is you need to play handball, man. That'll get
That
you
might-
some
that
hand-eye
will, dude.
coordination.
That will.
That's what I did. We were at the. Were you there for the Brian? I don't know if Brian was there for this one, but I know he was there for the one at least the year before that. But we were at the Florida Guppy contest at the coach's house, and they're having an auction, and the wind took one of the receipts, and it flew right past my head, and I just stuck my hand out and grabbed it.
I was there.
And coach looked at me like, "Is this kid graduated already?" I don't play basketball.
That's
or
weird.
Baseball.
That's odd.
And Shelby wants me to get rid of it. I think
I
it looks
want
cool.
some. That looks fun.
And then like people have been like blackbeard algae. I'm like, I've
No.
seen blackbeard algae. It's not blackbeard algae. I have another algae that's kind of similar to this, like purple, but it's like fluffier. And I showed it to like Richard and Chuck and Jerry one night at dinner. And they're like, oh, yeah, good luck with that. If you ever get that, it never goes away. And I've just had it come and go in a couple tanks without worrying about it. But this one has been here for like, I don't know, two years at least. And
What's
I
it
haven't
taste
been able
like?
to get rid of it. So
I'm gonna lean more towards fungus on that.
Yeah.
But
to
see.
what?
Towards a fungus.
Okay, I heard something totally wrong.
What did you think I said?
You're fucking something.
No.
But are you doing them both? Oh, she's sending them to you. Sorry, she's doing things on the computer. It's distracting me. But so yeah, I'll let Brian go first. Oh, you tore it down from the stage.
Ding.
I'm not reading comments, but I wish it was a freshwater sponge. That would be really cool.
Have to look that up though.
But no, I've seen freshwater sponges are like,
There's all different.
Yeah.
types. There's not just one type of sponge.
okay, fair enough. Maybe
You could have a new
maybe-
species of sponge.
So Shelby's favorite animal is the jellyfish. And one year I'm like, Shelby, I found jellyfish in the backyard. She didn't believe me. And like one time I found a cat in the garage. She said she didn't put it there. I didn't believe her, but she didn't believe me on the jellyfish thing. And we looked it up, and there's freshwater jellyfish in known lakes all around us. So a bird or frog, I'm thinking it's frogs. Frogs are, if you come to my house after a rainstorm, it is frog party city here. They are going crazy.
Orchestra.
Coachella has nothing on the frog parties in the back of our house. I'm just saying.
It keeps us up at night.
It keeps Layla up. She hates it, especially like when one goes right on her window and it's like, she hates it. I probably just drove everyone nuts with that.
How does it? What does it do, Grant? What does it do?
I can't do it again. My throat. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's the frogs are nuts, and that it possibly could have come from the frogs. But yeah, no, we had freshwater jellyfish. I tried to bring them inside into the tanks, and they didn't work. I'm not sure if I had the right flow rotation, or maybe the sponge filter sucked them up. Maybe not the right food, because I brought them inside and they needed photoplankton that lives outside. So a lot of things that it could have been, but that it would have been cool to keep freshwater jellyfish going. At the same time, every year when I see the pictures, I go check the pond to see, and I keep nothing in that pond to see if maybe they'll come back, like they seed or something, and they'll come back in the future. I don't know, but
Back to the cat situation, though. We really did have a cat in our garage, and I had been asking for years for a cat. I really want one still. It would be great, but with the aquatic life, can't really do that. But he's hearing this cry, and I'm sleeping, and he comes in and he's yelling at me, and he's like, "You had a cat for me. How could you do this?" And he's so mad at me, and I'm like, "What are you
it
talking
just
about?"
happened to be in the laundry room,
Like,
the
what
one
are you
spot
talking
I
about?
rarely ever go.
That is very true. But I'm like, I did not hide a cat from you. And he really thought I was lying to him the whole time. I was like, I did not hide a cat from you. And we go in, and sure enough, there's a little cat in there. And we had someone took it. One of our friends took it.
No. It ended up being the neighbor's cat, 2 doors down, next to the people that steal animals.
It must have snuck in our garage or something when I had it open. It was strange.
We also got a neighbor that likes to steal people's pets, sadly.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
He's lucky he doesn't live by us.
Yorkie went missing. Lady had it in the 2-story.
And Loxahatchee, we handled that a certain way.
No, not in Spring Hill. We're little suburbs.
Hey, Jimmy P Aquariums. And hey, Cora. I don't know if that's Cora or my stepmom. Sometimes you have it logged into that, but hey.
I got bit on the tip of my finger by a mosquito. That's like a new worst place to be bit. Sorry. That's horrible.
You're good, man.
In between the fingers are pretty bad.
The webbing is the worst.
Yeah.
Or the eye duct.
No, you can scratch
The eye
that so
duct's gotta be
easily,
the
but
worst.
like your fingertips so hard to scratch.
How's it going, Dane? Hey, Jimmy.
You can do this. That'll probably be the best way to scratch it.
I'm just rubbing it on my pant leg right now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Nano Guy, for reminding everybody to hit that like button. I appreciate it. One of these days, you need to focus and figure out how to make people a mod.
Yeah, with my
Wow.
ample amount of time.
No.
One of these days, Shelby, you need to focus.
Yeah, right. You look like I have 300 tasks going on at all times.
Quit it.
Quit.
How's it going, Eddie? Yellowstone Aquatics. How's it going, guys? Did you get it?
Hey.
Oh man, who's keeping score? Can we get a count now?
I'm
4 or
failing,
5.
dude. I'm failing.
The tip of
Bad.
something else would be worse.
Oh,
Dude.
Well, be thankful. Be
It would
Be
be
thankful.
so much worse.
All right, so back to this algae thing. Brian was adamant about getting onto our cures for algae, so I figured you go ahead, go first, Brian.
Yeah, that's
Let's
fine
get
with
your
me.
little spiel.
So other than water changes and manual removal, my trick I would recommend is making sure your substrate's clean, whether that's with the old power things, the turkey basters, or something like that. That's where a lot of your organics get stuck and turn into that septic zone that kind of causes that release of the issues. So that's kind of my main tip. I know I'll let you guys go into some of the basic stuff. I know you're the water change expert, so.
I was expecting you to go into media and like just dabbling into aquachar, mentioning.
Oh, I mean, here, if we want to go into that, hold on, I'll share my screen real quick. Share.
Oh my god, my foot! I got bit through the side. Ugh.
Cut it out for a chance.
I'm literally
You got
giving
that
my
sweet
blood
blood.
for this stream.
Can you see that?
Yep.
So we can see it now. You got to explain.
That's what substrate. That's a breakdown of substrate. So this is called a Winogradsky column. So if you ever took like microbiology or anything like that in high school, what you do is you go to a creek and you kind of put some food in there and you take some substrate from it, and it turns into this. So basically, it's like oxygen and sulfides are go hand in hand. There's a couple of different types of it. It's actually cool because it shows the coloring of the different bacterias as the phototrophic, or whether they're taking in light or not. So this kind of shows you the breakdown, the oxygenation breakdown of metabolism for each different level. So like, I wasn't planning on going into this. It was just open because I had a talk last night on biomedia with Florida Marine Aquarium Society. But
no, I thought you'd go into aquachar, talk about keeping nice clean water, cleaner the water.
Well, okay, so
the nicer the tank's gonna be. Have some
well,
aquachar
so like
in there.
that goes hand in hand. So with just keeping your tank clean, it's water changes and making sure that your dissolved organics level don't get too high in your water, especially if you're running a high tech tank with high growth and stuff like that, because a lot of your nutrients are taken up like that with plants. So,
All right, now Shelby, let's get your best treatment for algae.
Depends on the algae. But all we do is treatments. So we don't stop it at the source, really. I think we have a couple times, but I mean, for hair algae, for instance, we manually remove, dim the lights, don't use them as much, and then water changes, constant water changes. It takes some time, but it'll all balance out after that.
I'll go next since Chance is going to ruin it. So whenever I have somebody ask me about algae issues, I always tell them it's basically three main things. Your lights are on for too long, reduce your lights, and kind of in play with that same thing is like maybe they're too close. So if you can raise the lights up or, dim them down a little bit or something like that. Basically, it's intensity of light. So you could, reduce it by time or intensity, but usually light is one of the main reasons for algae issues. Then the next thing is going to be overfeeding. If you're overfeeding, then you definitely need to, reduce the amount of food that you feed or increase the amount of time between feeding. And then the third thing is going to be water changes or lack thereof water changes. So if you're having allergy and it's a problem, increase the amount of water changes you're doing. Or if you were doing water changes every other week and doing 20%, maybe you're going to want to do them every week and still do 20%. And, doing one of those three things or all of those three things will usually take care of your algae issues. Now, like Shelby said, there's certain things that you can do. Like for us, we have the light bar going all the way across, and it covers 6-7 lights at a time. And how do we reduce the light intensity for just one tank, but then increase the others? We usually get like a towel or put a bunch of shrimp food underneath that light so it blocks off that tank, so that way it can get some a little light, but not the intensity that all the other tanks that are getting. Because out of how many tanks we have running right now, we only got like issues with 5 tanks maybe in the whole house with, and those issues are usually hair algae and that one tank that we had posted beforehand. But that's not really something we even have a towel over. I'm just kind of letting that ride. But definitely hair allergy is something we want to take care of as fast as possible, because baby shrimp and even adults can get tangled up inside of it and die without a food source. So Brian is back. I'll add up back Brian. But basically it's those three things. And then there's different things you can do for other types of algae. But I'll basically pass it on to Chance now, so he can ruin everybody's day with how they get rid of algae.
So, I mean, Shelby brought up a good point, though. It depends on the algae. You got to identify it. But the main thing, like I was saying before, most algae happen in that beginning stage of an aquarium, especially in my world, the CO2 injected aquarium, high tech, whatever you want to call it, world. There's just that beginning stage where things are not balanced, where you're trying to find balance. And the best thing to do typically is not to focus on the algae. It's literally to just ignore it, ignore the algae, grow your plants, focus on your plants, do what you need to do for your plants, horticultural care. The algae will go away. If you have good horticultural care, algae will go away, especially if you're, dialing in CO2 or dialing in fertilizer or nutrients or anything like that. Horticultural care, watch your plants. Don't try to use a cookbook you found online on how to dose X, Y, and Z. Watch your plants. Your tank is not on that you're looking online. Your tank is not Dennis Wong's tank. Your tank is not Tom Barr's tank. Your water is not Tom Barr's water. It's not Dennis Wong's water. Your horticultural care is not Dennis Wong's level of horticultural care. So you need to find what works for you, not copy all these people, including copying me and trying to figure out what I do. Don't really worry about it. Just focus on the plants. That's the biggest tip that we'll always give you. CO2 and temperature question. Tank rose in temp a couple of days ago when it got hot outside. Noticed my drop checker finally turned olive green for the first time. So, no. If your temperature is going up, your dilution overall of everything slows down. So your O2 and CO2, everything is going to, I thought water dissolved. Why did the bulb turn? Okay, yeah. So no, that's fine. Your O2, your temperature levels. So when the temperature goes up, O2 levels are less saturated. I think I'm reading your question right. But O2 levels become less saturated in the water with higher temperatures. So you have less oxygen in the water. Therefore, it's displaced with more CO2, more, whatever you're pumping in there. So you can actually have a higher CO2 level with a higher temperature, especially if your, surface agitation or other things like that are lacking. But yeah, no. If you're not running like an air stone and your temps get high and you're running CO2 as well, you're going to have O2 fluctuation, which is going to lead to a lot of imbalance in your CO2 because the gases are basically just going to offset each other no matter what. But I forgot where I was on the algae thing.
No, you're just going on. I think you basically solved everything. Going on, take care of the plants, take care of the tank, worry about what you got going on. Your parameters they're going to be the same. Your water's not going to be the same as these other people who are posting. So you got to find your own little groove. It was where you were getting at.
Right. You just need to watch your plants, learn what good plant health is, learn what your plants look like when they're happy, use stepping stones or guidelines. Basically, typically the best guideline you can have is find a dosing regimen and stick with it. Don't sit there and jump around to A, B, C, and D because you're not liking the results of what you're getting. If you stick with it long enough, you'll get better results as long as you're consistent. Plants thrive on consistency. Any kind of inconsistencies are going to cause imbalances or problems with plant growth. So,
And I definitely noticed that outside as the seasons change and the water temperatures change, my plants definitely go through different cycles. But
oh yeah,
Crypt Keeper says, interesting. Sorry to sidetrack you. Don't be sorry, guys. This whole streaming and everything like that. Me, Chance, and Brian and Shelby, we could get together and talk and bounce ideas off of one another anytime we wanted. But we're doing these streams. We're doing it for you guys. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, we can stop what we got planned. I got a little notebook to the side. Everything that we've got to talk about will get talked about. So we lost Brian. We're going to have to get used to that until you can get an internet connection a little bit better. I told him tonight's the test. It was a little bit better. Oh, he's back in time. All right. Maybe he's all right. You saved yourself there. It was a quick rebound. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, please fire them away. That is why we are here. So this one is for shrimp. So ADA soil, how long will it take to put shrimp in? At least 30 days. I'm not sure which version of ADA you have and how the newer versions even are. But some of them could leach ammonia out depending on how strong the bacteria you add and stuff like that. It could be 30 to 90 days. You got them?
Yeah, I got one of them. He's huge.
Yeah.
Can we get a score count now? I forgot who was doing it. Jesus, there's too many people in the chat now. So, so all right, back to what Chance was going on about. So, Chance, your tank has been running now for a while, and say we're not gassing CO2, but we're doing our best to do a really nice planted tank. We might be using some fertilizer, some nice lights. Everything's good. Just no CO2. So you get where I'm going with this. We ended up with an issue.
Okay.
Can you guess my issue?
You stopped doing maintenance?
No. I got some blackbeard algae.
Oh, you stopped doing maintenance.
No. My water changes are all on point. Everything's the same. Just all of a sudden, some blackbeard algae in spots.
When was the last time you cleaned your filter?
Listen, I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying like
Is that-
hypothetically.
I'm talking to your hypothetical you.
Blackbeard algae.
Yeah.
What?
filter do you have?
I'm asking you.
We have maybe a tank with blackbeard algae. Which one is it? I don't even know offhand which one it is.
I thought you were talking about your tank has it. And I was thinking the filter was one of the old filters.
Yeah, it is. It's like a
blackbeard algae.
7-year-old JBJ filter that we got at the original aquatic experience. So
When was the last time you cleaned it?
Yeah.
I never cleaned that thing. So you think just rinsing that thing out with some RO water, get rid of the blackbeard algae?
I think maintaining
Lots of clean filters. What?
I think maintaining your biologics are the most important part of a planted aquarium.
All right, so I'll jump in here on this one. This is talking my language. So 99% of the time, like when you have those types of things out there, it's a filter maintenance issue. Am I on?
No, you're good.
So it's a filter maintenance issue. So what happens is you get basically what you do is you're turning your filter into a dirty diaper. So it builds up, it becomes gunky and nasty, and that's what starts leaching like the types of organics or dissolved organics start leaching into the water that promotes those types of things. So think about those. Think about like those small organics that you can't see is like duh. It's stuck on your wood, everything like that. So it starts to become a food source for your algae from that standpoint. So it's not biologically available nutrients like your plants are taking in. It's basically they live off of those dead zones in the river where they can kind of opportunistically feed on the gunk. So if your filtration system is basically built up and filled with gunk, you're going to end up having. It's basically like just attaching a swamp to your tank. Like it's sure the biologicals are there, but like one of the things with aquachar, that's why our filtration maintenance is adding new to the existing and building up the aquachar balance versus just putting in carbon and throwing it out and reestablishing it. Because once a month you can pull open your filter and just shake it off in your water, change water, and throw it back in your filter and put a little bit new if you need more in there. But that filter maintenance is very important for keeping your everything in balance, but definitely keeping the algae from really outbreaking and becoming a dominant thing in your system.
Right.
I agree.
Dark River Aquatics. Is it true that it takes plants 7 days to successfully adapt / react to the change in nutrient levels and or CO2 levels?
There's no amount of days or time or anything like that. There's no magic number with plants or nature. There is a time frame. There is a set time frame that it takes plants to adapt or react to a change in nutrient levels. So that's why I'm a huge advocate of purchasing and converting your own aquatics. So basically being the first person to convert your immersed aquatics into submerged aquatics, because then the plants don't have a chance to get used to a fertilizer regimen. I'm tracking this huge mosquito, so sorry. Anyway, so when you buy plants from somebody online or an aquatic plant store that's already submerged, those plants are used to those levels in that tank. They're used to X amount of nitrogen, X amount of phosphorus, X amount of iron, X amount of calcium, and X amount of magnesium. Calcium and magnesium are the biggest ones because those are uptake nutrients. So when you get plants from plant store A that has a GH of 9 and your GH is like 1 or 2, whatever it is, and you go and you take those plants and you put them in there, what's going to happen is those plants now are going to be lacking those uptake nutrients that they're so used to in abundance. So you're going to have a momentary lapse of growth. Things are going to get stagnant. You're going to have some stunting until those plants can adapt. Is it 7 days? I don't know. It's a time frame, though. It's some time. And the same thing goes when you buy immersed aquatic plants. So you buy them, and they aren't used to any regimen or anything like that, but they do have to convert to a submerged form. Basically, all that's doing is more of a morphological change. They just basically close their stomas and then become used to whatever is that environment. So there's no need for them to adjust. There's no time for them to where they're susceptible to algae, because when you take plant A from plant store A with that high GH and put it in your tank, it's then going to be more susceptible to algae because it's going to have a period of stunt where it's going to have stagnant growth, where that plant isn't going to be increasing its surface area enough to produce more plant matter to prevent algae growth. They're basically going to get outcompeted by algae. With the immersed aquatics, that won't happen.
And at the same time, depending on the plant, certain plants don't even need 7 days. Like a bacopa, if it was already adapted and submerged, that thing's going to take the certain nutrient levels, and you're going to see that within the first couple of days.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's no time frame on any of the plants. Like it could be anything. Like there's crypts that are in my house right now that I can take and put in the water, and they don't melt like the whole myth is, like they're gonna melt back. No, the stomas just close, and then they grow their submerged leaves. Like as long as your aquarium is in good shape, your water's good, you're biologically sound, you're in a good balance, the plants don't melt from immersed stage. Like Echinodoris will drop their immersed leaves and grow submerged leaves, but there's not a melt. They just drop their immersed leaves. Eat them anymore because the stomas on those leaves are open. So they have to grow new leaves, closed stomas, because they don't have the ability to control their stomas like stem plants do or cryptocoryne do. That's it. That's pretty much it. So.
And Jamie asked, my crypt Wendtii brown getting holes. What am I missing? So
any Wendtii, any species of Wendtii, which includes flamingo, axelrodii, tropica, all of those. So axelrodii is undulata. It's the same same deal. They're hard water crypts, so they like calcium, they like magnesium. So more than likely, your water is too soft, and or the substrate that they're in is lacking like micronutrients, microbes and stuff like that. So you may need to like put some root tabs or whatever in there and up your GH a bit, depending. But test your GH first. If it's normal, be like within for that plant, it'd be like within like 8 to 12. For that's a good GH window you're looking to grow it successfully. Um, Below that, up your calcium, magnesium, and it never hurts to throw a root tab in there. That's never going to affect you too bad. It'll explode.
Let's see. We did get an update. Mosquitoes 3, chance 1. I think you got 2 of them now, right?
Yeah, but I was -1 because I've been bit so many times. So we're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna find another one after that.
What?
Find another one after. Put it up. And take it
Sorry.
down. All right. So boa shrimp. What is a good TDS and pH? Depending on the breeder you get them from, 10 TDS to 160 is about the normal range for boa shrimp. And then pH, basically as low as you can get it, 5.5 to 6 is going to be your prime range. So,
can I ask what a boa is? Boa shrimp? I don't know.
It's a high grade galaxy pinto where the dots on the face have like formed together to create like the similar pattern to a boa constrictor.
That's awesome.
Gorgeous.
They're the most like sought out,
I wanna
expensive
see it.
like shrimp right now in the hobby.
I can probably bring up
Have a picture of it?
Yeah.
I want to see them.
I wonder if our
I was gonna
Instagram.
say, I want to see it.
Yeah, our Instagram has one.
I can probably share.
At
Got
one
'em.
point, these shrimp are like $7,000 a piece.
What?
Yeah.
That's
So,
nuts.
while Shelby's bringing that up, I thought I'd bring up this whole thing because I get all these people all the time that are like, "Oh, I need some shrimp. I need something that's going to eat my algae." So that one's all right. I think we have a better one though. So
That one?
No, keep going down. You'll know. But so the thing is they do eat algae, but like not really in the way that you. That's a good one too. Not really in the way that people think. So sometimes the shrimp will have a certain craving and they can eat some healthy algae, but most of the time when people see shrimp eating algae, it's because the algae is actually just dying off, and at that point, it's when the shrimp will eat it. So there are certain shrimp that aren't getting the right amount of nutrients in their tank and stuff like that, and people will be like, "Oh, I threw in this piece of boost and it was covered in hair algae." And I threw it into the shrimp tank, and the shrimp just grab onto it and eat it and clean it. Well, probably because the nutrients in that water and everything like that are healthier for the plants and not as good for the algae, and the algae is starting to die instantly when you throw it into the tank. But it is a possibility that the shrimp are kind of craving that certain type of food. So, like, I noticed the Caridina shrimp really don't eat the spirulina algae as much as the Neocaridina, and there's even like a breeder out there that swears like they don't really eat it at all, and it's no benefit to them, etc. So it's definitely something you can't figure it out like that. I can.
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I have one on. It's not.
I don't know. I'm
My phone, I
struggling.
can send it to you really fast. But yeah, so what the shrimp really do is they compete for algae food source. So they're eating the biofilms and the waste and the organics that are in the water that the algae are also feeding on and growing off of. So you want the shrimp to eat that instead of the algae to get it. And that's how they can kind of keep the tanks clean. But for the most part, they really don't eat algae. No, I went around to do two things at once.
And I'll
He's like-
expand. I'll expand on it too. A lot of people, they want to believe that you need fauna in an aquarium to have healthy, flourishing plants. that you need shrimp or you need snails or you need something to eat out. Well, I got an airplane. Hold on. Hold that thought.
I don't even have a good picture. That was a fail.
No, we probably have it on Facebook. Still learning this whole
I
technology.
got
sent you
him.
one. It's
All right.
good enough. It's not the
So-
best one. I don't even know if that.
So like I was saying, the people think that you need like all these critters in there to eat algae and citrus, shrimp, everything that you need them in there. You really don't. I'm trying to find where to go. I just had it pulled up. Here it is.
Are you pulling up something on the screen?
I'm trying to, but
He'll
it's not
show.
going to work.
Oh, okay. She finally got the picture of the boa
Oh,
to bring
go
up.
ahead,
It's
go
not
ahead.
even a good picture of a boa. It's just I wasn't prepared. Next week I'll have a
To
good,
us, we'll be impressed.
but
That's freaking awesome.
That's sick.
with the metallic colors and stuff coming through and the face pattern, I would like the dots on the face to be a little bit more dominant. So that's why I was like, it's not really a true boa. Some would say it's like super low grade, but it's got the cool colors and stuff like that. But yeah, when the higher grade versions of these, when Skyfish first brought these in, they were going for $7,000 a piece.
That's freaking awesome.
Super low grade, $7,000 boa.
No, those weren't. Those are probably cheaper.
I know.
Uptake nutrient chance. We got another question.
So uptake nutrient, I would basically calcium and magnesium and manganese. Manganese also classified as a microelement or a micronutrient, but it's really an uptake nutrient too. But it doesn't have to be focused on. Iron's an uptake nutrient as well, but again, you don't have to focus on it too much because believe it or not, plants don't use as much iron as the world wants to think they do. But the calcium and magnesium they do use, and uptake nutrients are nutrients that the plants need in order to use other nutrients. So like in order for a plant to process phosphates or process nitrogen, they need a certain amount of magnesium and a certain amount of calcium in order to even function. Those nutrients act as binders for nitrates and phosphates to be moved up the plant, to be transferred from lower parts of the plant up the plant. That's what helps with immobile nutrients to be moved up the stem of the plant. That's where you get the difference of immobile nutrients and mobile nutrients. Mobile nutrients are like your nitrogen and phosphorus and stuff like that. Those are nutrients that are going to move. So if you have yellowing on the bottom of your leaves, at the bottom of a stem, and you notice that it's yellowing from the base up, it's probably a nitrogen or phosphorus or some other mobile nutrient deficiency. If you have stunting or yellowing at the top of your new growth, that's going to be an uptake nutrient issue or an immobile nutrient issue because the plant can't rob itself to fix itself, basically, because that nutrient just doesn't exist. There's no one to steal it from. So your new growth starts to be lacking. Your new growth starts to be stunted or discolored or has holes in it or whatever. That's typically an uptake nutrient, or magnesium, manganese, iron, calcium is the biggest one. So you're usually lacking in those areas if you have that issue. And by that's, I guess, yeah, that's what I mean by uptake nutrient. But they're important, is what I was getting.
Thoughts on Matin filters for shrimp tank? I'm using one for 4 months running now. I wasn't going to answer this question, but then I read the next part. And I'm now starting to see some different algae. So we have a couple of the 3D printed Matin filters, and I love them. They're great. Just they're kind of a pain because if you get any issues with like Giba or something like that, you got to replace the filter, and it's kind of a pain to cut one out and swap it out. Where the dual sponge filters, I can just take one of the filters, throw it away, put a brand new one on there, and the Giba's gone. I haven't. Do we have any running anymore? I don't think we have any of them running anymore, but I didn't have any algae issues or anything like that. So once again, if you're having any algae issues, And maybe you're not doing enough water changes or something like that. But I do know behind the filters, a lot of mulm and debris would build up. So make sure there's no babies or any shrimp stowaways that got behind there. But you want to make sure you get that sucked up, cleaned up. And then, one of my best tips for getting rid of algae is manual removal. Remove as much of it as you possibly can, without messing up too much of your scape or anything like that. But you want to get rid of as much as you can by hand, and then make sure you're staying on top of your water changes, maybe up your water changes or something like that. I don't know what the first part of that question was, so you keep going down.
So I'll
I think you already answered this one. Kind of. For a crypt to convert it, would it be best to cut off the leaves if they will be dropped to make new ones?
No, the leaves are damaged. Cut them off. If you start to notice them get damaged, cut them off. But leave them alone until you start to notice damage, or if you see damage, or if they're already damaged. Again, horticultural care. Just watch the health of the plant. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. If the plant leaf looks good, if everything looks happy, let it be happy. There's no need to over trim it or anything like that. You can hack it down and to one leaf and put it in there or whatever if you want. I mean, me personally, I have better success with keeping all the leaves on there because it stays a full plant, at least in my aquariums or whatever. I don't have any issues with the immersed leaves falling off of crypts. They just close up and do their thing. Most of those plants, especially crypts, most of those plants come from tidal zones. It's where the water is constantly go away, where the water is constantly raising up over them. They'll be submerged for 6 months, and water goes down and for 6 months. So those plants are always constantly being, especially crypts, anubias, things like that, drown, drained, drown and drain, drown and drain. So they're evolved to the point now to where their stomas can open and close. Econodoris, not so much, unfortunately. They've evolved to the point now to where they're just like, I don't need you, arm. I don't need you, leaf. I grow new one. So this is a shrimp question, I feel.
Yeah, you can't use CO2. You just have to use an aqua soil. 5.5 pH is not needed. My test kits don't even go below 6. So I don't even know if my pH is 5.5 or if it's at 6 on the money. So you don't need it at 5.5. But in order to achieve that for us, we use aqua soil and RO water mixed with GH only minerals. It's the only way that we've achieved it. And then somebody in our last stream mentioned that Mark Shrimp Tanks uses the peat gravel or peat moss to lower his pH. What Mark does is he puts it into the canister filter for his RO unit, not canister filter, in one of the cartridges for his RO unit at the end, and it drops the pH of the water before he uses it for the tanks. But he doesn't actually use that water or the peat moss in his shrimp tanks. So, and then we got a couple thank yous from Crypt Keeper. How's it going, Jeffrey Brown?
Great.
And how's it going, Ray Aquatics? And,
hey guys.
Oh.
Michelle asked, is there a link to Florida Scape Team's channel? I wonder if we can make a separate channel on ours.
I don't think we could make a oh man, what's it called? A playlist, but we couldn't make our own channel within a channel. But we are over that hour mark. I don't want to cut us off just yet. Shelby has a little bit of a dilemma. We are going to Aquaticon this weekend. It is Saturday in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a one-day event, and they have given us a little extra space. I don't want to put that space to bad use. And at these shows, a lot of times the really nice aquascape tanks and stuff like that, they get a lot of attention. It's really nice to see. And we don't have any vendors or anything like that we're scaping for. There is an aquascape contest that I just found out about today, but we got a feeling that it's the one for Dustin's fish tanks that he does for the kids. So that's probably not something we're going to be able to compete in. However, since we have the extra space on the table, I thought we'd bring a Scape. And mine has gone from the fair to home to Aquashella and back to home. So I figured I'm just going to retire that tank for a little bit, put it on break. But Shelby's tank is like just completely primed out right now. Like it's grown in a lot since the fair. And at the last auction, I bought her a couple plants and she added those to the tank. They're nice. I'm not a fan. She loves them, but I think they should stay out for the show. She wants to know if we should leave them in. So you guys get to vote. It will be a tie if you both choose separately. So you have the other people here. We can chime in and see what the chat says as well. So it is not just what Chance and Brian think. I would like to get some input from the viewers as well. So Shelby, go ahead, show the first picture of the tank. Now this is what the tank. This isn't even fair though, because this is like what the tank looked like when she first set it up. So it's not grown in, it's not matured.
Where's it at
look
now?
good.
Let's see what
This
it's
is an
at
old-
now.
Okay, hold on.
I want to see where it's at now.
All right. give me one
Right
second.
now.
And that's the debate. I added something else too, and that's what he thinks I should take out for the show. I'll get there eventually. Here we go. Hold on. Switching screens has been proven to be difficult here. There we go.
So you should have cropped it a little bit better.
Yeah, sorry about the kitchen. We're
That's all
painting
right.
and cleaning.
But,
But
she's
I,
got the taro, the black taro elephant ear plant looking things up top.
Can't really tell. It's a terrible picture, but you can
I
kind of
like
see.
I like it,
Yeah.
and I think that so. I'll tell a funny story on the elephant ears. One of my when I did YouTube like 10 years ago, I got like 17,000 views about putting elephant ears and random plants as an added filtration media.
I like the extra element. A lot of the plants have grown out, so you can see like my crypt compacta is really filled in the left area. My crypt in the right side, you really can't see any empty spots anymore, which is great. I just like it. The beta fish also agrees with me. He loves it. But Grant thinks I should take it out for the show because it's more of it's a personal taste.
So she doesn't really. She cheated and she got the best angle she possibly could of the tank. It doesn't show the ugly root mass inside the tank in the
I'm gonna
background.
hide those a little bit better.
It takes
can
away
trim them
from
as
all
well.
the hard work she did inside the tank.
That's
So
terrible
yeah, it
picture.
looks really cool
Can't
from
see
the
that.
top. No, but
It's
it
a
shows
glare.
the
'em.
horrible
I know.
root mass
You can
that are
see the
inside of it,
roots.
though. So I just you take the roots out of it. I think her work is better shown. I don't know. Rather than just seeing it from the top down, it looks cooler as a whole, maybe. But if you're looking at it as we're gonna take the beta out because that thing is a killing machine. But
It ate
we're
like
gonna throw
40
a bunch
shrimp.
of shrimp in it for the show. So
So here's
I-
my opinion. Those plants get like 6 feet tall. they get huge.
Yes, good. Take up my whole living room, please.
So like the root mass on those plants, like what Grant's talking about, like you can keep them trimmed up, and it may actually you may actually be able to stunt them a bit by doing that. But eventually, the crume on that plant, the crume is the part that's like where the roots are coming out of. That's not quite a stem, but it's like that big gnarly part. Eventually, that big gnarly part will get like the size of your tank. I'm not even kidding. So like,
Well, they're kind of just floating for now.
if it's a temporary thing, totally. But if you're looking for something to throw out there, here, you guys keep talking.
it wasn't done yet.
He looks.
He didn't leave us with a complete conversation.
So,
all right.
plant or something. But I think that he has an idea on a plant you can put in there other than elephant ears, because I have an elephant ear like that you can stunt them very well, but when they get into the right spot, like they're huge. But yeah, I like it with the elephant ears just as a personal preference for the show. But I get what Chance is saying as far as like that specific example might not be the one that you want like people going out in their front yard and trying to do. I guess.
So what do you got for us, Chance?
I'll send you one of these. It stays
What is it?
smaller. Hey, there it is.
Is that
Pothos?
golden pothos?
It's not a pothos. It's in the species of. It's in the genus of pothos, but this is a really rare version. The leaves don't get huge. It's a E. Piper aurora. So like the variegations, how like you get like giant split leaves off the giant Hawaiian pothos and stuff like that. This is it. This is as big as this leaf will get. That's it. So
That's beautiful.
but I'll send
My
it to
thing
you,
is,
and you
does
can
that
use it
one
if you
turns
want.
purple? Like it has purple leaves that come out of that one. It's called the black something. I can't remember exactly what they were referring to it as.
So that may not be a taro, then. That may be black magic calicacia.
It's got small roots, but it is gigantic in a nano tank. So you can the root ball is about like that big.
Because calicaceas don't get as big as taro, because taro is a whole different.
Because it's black something, but it's got these it's supposed to be black, but they look like deep purple leaves to them, and then they kind of like die off, and then they'll have another purple leaf come out and they'll die off, but they're really pretty.
So Crypt Keeper, alder cones and almond leaves can lower the pH, but you need so many. You need like 4 inches of botanical leaf litter in order to properly drop the pH down low enough. So it's not a good way to lower your pH, if at all. And then we got another question. Is Sawasu Tang better than Java Moss for shrimp? No, they're both the same. They're both surface area and places for little microorganisms to live in.
It's supposed to be a black magic taro bog plant.
Black magic taro bog plant.
Mm-hmm. It says 4 feet tall, though, so you're definitely right about it getting big. It's supposed to be big, but purple black leaves is what it does.
And Jeffrey Brown says, what size tank? It is the 10-gallon Daenerys Scapers tanks. So we got 1 vote for keep it. What was your vote, by the way, Chance? Keep it or leave it out?
Take it out. It's too big.
I mean, I say leave it until you can't keep it in there, I guess. I mean, but then you got to think you got to rehome it. And those roots are going to get gnarly. Like
I want to do a nice bog outside for sure. Got a lot of plants that I want to do. So I just love indoor plants with a passion. So like I got my string of pearls, string of dolphins. I got the Monstra in the house, and I got vining Monstra all through the house now, and now that one. So it just really adds a beautiful element to the house. I want to fill it up with the plants that I really enjoy as well and can take care of a lot better. So.
And then we got to vote for take it out. All right. And then
only crushing my heart, don't worry.
Black background in the back, hide the roots. No, the roots are in the tank.
In the tank. But
so
I can hide some of them. So honestly, I shouldn't have the like 7 plants there is in there. I could take most of them out, but like I can hide one of them behind one of the logs in the back, and you wouldn't be able to see them, and I'd be able to get my beautiful plant for a little bit.
They could be tucked away a little bit better, but then you're going to lose height. Some of them are going to get...
One would look cool.
Yeah, I think you leave the bigger one in there and tuck it behind one of the things.
Yeah.
But not all of them.
I don't know why it's losing its black color, though. They're all straight green.
The light. So that black color is a reaction to light. So it reacts.
The sunscreen pigment.
Correct. Yeah.
Great.
So
Find me a better light.
Is active substrate safe in Neotank as long as the KH stays high enough? Absolutely. We just went through and removed all of the Brightwell substrate out of our 500-gallon Neocaridina green jade outdoor tub and went completely bare bottom with it, so that way we could go ahead, put the turtles in there, and they wouldn't make little dust clouds every time we spooked them. So yeah, they're having a ball in there now, but yeah, it's not a problem. We have like really old Caridina tanks that we've converted over. We use tap water now, and we got Tangerine Tigers. You could easily throw Neocaridinas in there, but yeah, it's not a problem.
It's a big vote for no on all of it.
Sorry, but have to agree with no elephant ears here. Pothos might be a better.
See,
better
I'm
stay with
just sick
a little
of. I
lower.
love Pothos, but I'm done with them. I've had them for so long, but definitely have the Monstra Vining. That's
Here, let's
that's already
just-
in a couple tanks.
Here,
so.
I'll change your mind a little bit. I'll change Grant's mind as well. This little piece right here, I sell for like $75 locally. So like online, it'll probably auction for like $100. It's a rare genus or species of Pothos, like this form.
Yeah, that one
So-
definitely looks a lot different than the normal one you buy at Home
If it
Depot.
stays small, I'm
Yeah.
for it. But I know
Yeah.
what these are going to turn into. I already took one and put it outside because I'm like, no. This is why I was
These
like,
are
yeah, you
grown
can buy it.
outside.
I know where it's going to go for me. Okay?
These are grown
it's going to go
outside.
somewhere for me,
I was
too.
gonna do it anyways. It's just for now it looks gorgeous in the house. I mean, it's not nowhere near close to being big, and it's slow growing right now because it's.
And you're
got
gonna break it
no
down
light.
anyways, so like
I'm just
enjoy
enjoying
it
it
while
for
you
the fun
can.
time.
Right.
But Robert Bloomfield says, I vote no elephant ear.
Have to go.
Crypt Keeper says, I vote remove it.
I'm only gonna start crying at this point.
Dado guy, replace or remove it. Jeffrey Brown says no elephant ear. We got Johnny D says replace it. And then we got Ray Aquatics, who, by the way, says they will see us at Aquaticon. So it'll be nice to meet you in person.
You're gonna have to introduce yourself as Ray Aquatics because
Or
even if we've seen you and we know you, we're gonna
You're gonna
have
have to be Angel Fish Icon on YouTube because we know way too
No,
many
I'll remember
Rays.
at least Ray Aquatics, but not just Ray.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be too big for that tank.
So philodendron McCanns, what is
Does
that?
it get the chance approval?
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Okay. A little soft approval there.
No, that's a good plant. I like that plant.
I did the same thing with one of my tanks. I like it, but not for the aquascape. That's going to be judged. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's not even in the judging criteria to judge anything above the tank. So it's like we have all that space. We were going to go for it for Chicago and build something out of the tank, but we can't fabricate anything. So but,
I like the plant that you showed, Chance. It's got that yellow and the green, so it's beautiful. I like that. I'm really big on color. That's why the black really drew me in, and I was like, oh, that's beautiful, and it gives me that hint of purple, and that's my favorite color. So any purple I can put in a tank, trust me, we tried purple waffles so many times. We're embarrassed to talk about it.
How many times? Like 2 or 3?
3. Well, we didn't know. We were like, oh, maybe we're doing something wrong. And
if
then like
PetSmart's
a
gonna
year-
sell it, or Pet Supermarket's gonna sell it, like they look like it was staying alive
biggest
in their
scam
tanks,
in the
but
world.
You were young too. Like we were 16 to 18 when we were. doing
Yeah.
it.
16 years old, and I thought we knew everything.
No, I did not think I knew everything.
I thought I knew everything.
I knew those snails were out to get me.
He did tell me that it's not going to last. The purple's not going to stay. It's not going to look good. And sure enough. And then I told him the next time we saw it, I was like, all right, I'm going to keep it alive this time. I didn't keep it alive. It's my fault.
Well, Chance, last time we ran it a little bit late, and then you had a rough day at work the next day. I know you don't have to work tomorrow, but we are all caught up in chat. So did you have anything else you want to discuss? You guys want to go over anything else? Anything you want to talk about or share? Or is it a good time to call it a night?
Yeah, subscribe to my channel if you guys want plant stuff.
No, so we were talking about this in the beginning of the chat, and so like I'm okay with doing 2 streams every week. So if you wanted to do every other week, we do it on our channel, and Wednesdays 10 o'clock is just going to be our time slot, and every other week we do it on your channel too. So I'm fine with that, however you want to do it, but we just need to get a set schedule to go in together, and like Brian was saying, we just need to start doing it and get a routine, and then stick to it, commit to it. And so we've done that with my channel. So if you guys want to add on, grow, we also talked about bringing in a couple different people to interview and talk with and stuff like that. So I don't think we're quite ready to be doing that yet, but it's definitely something we want to work on. So anybody has any suggestions or ideas, always hit us up with those. And then Brian, if you wanted to do something on your channel too, man.
Yeah, I do more on Instagram really than YouTube, but I'll get on there.
It's a peacock.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a TikTok today. It was hilarious. A guy goes 6 months into living in Florida, and what is this sound? And it's a sand crane. And he's like, sounds like a velociraptor. I'm gonna have to go inside.
Yeah. No, I've got peacocks and they're loud.
Yeah, I thought it was a cat. It's close. I used to live in the country, and that's all you'd hear. And besides the gorillas, I lived in front of a primate sanctuary, and that's all you'd hear.
Uh,
So we've got Chance's link down in the description, guys. If you want to jump over to his channel, give him a nice follow, subscribe, like some of his videos would be much appreciated. And then Jeffrey Brown asks you,
watch me kill mosquitoes.
if you have a website, or are you all auctions, brother?
All right, so I guess that is an announcement I should make after this airplane passes.
Perfect timing.
Whoa. These darn airplanes. You're going to have to ask them to move. File a neighborhood complaint.
All right. So yeah, I'm actually going to be getting the site back up within the next 2 weeks. I'll have the site up again, fully loaded with what I have available. Right now, I'm doing auctions on just the Planet Tank quick auctions on Facebook is where I'm posting them all. On my private page or whatever, my personal profile, I'm posting sales and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. I am totally behind on this one, man. I'm getting my ass kicked. And I'm going to start doing some special sales on YouTube where I run basically fire sale-esque type things on YouTube, where I'm just going to have a video. I'll have a valid date of when the prices are available, and I'll post that video, and basically you guys will have instructions in that video of how to purchase those plants from me at a fire sale rate, at a much cheaper rate.
And we need to get Chance 1,000 subscribers, so that way he can set memberships, and then you'll have to be a membership to his channel to get the fire sales. So we're going to be doing similar things like that on our channel with shrimp. I have a lot of people ask me for certain types of shrimp, and we really, we sell a lot of them pre-sale, and I think that's a little bit unfair. People are jumping on them. So I thought maybe I do some member-only sales where I release certain types of shrimp that we don't normally sell on the website very often, just the members. And then we had a couple other ideas as well, but the fire sales is a good idea for sure on your channel, man. That's a good idea.
My Insta is Aqua Scape FL, so AQUAESCAPEFL, Aqua Escape.
And then Brian, what's yours?
I'm Aquachar Water.
And Brian's the Instagram tank for this group. You carry us on the followers there for sure. You got like what, 5K now?
I don't remember. I haven't stopped. I haven't paid attention to that in a while. It's all reside. I need more shrimp people to repost.
Well, I have a video for you. I have, and I just got to figure out what sound to put on it. But the shrimp grabbed a piece of snowflake and moved it on top of a piece of aquachar to eat it like it's on a table.
Dinner plate.
So a dinner plate, yeah,
God.
Yeah.
dinner table.
Good
So it'll be a good one. Our video from Easter is just a colossal tank juggernaut, and it will not be stopped.
Won't
And it's
die.
getting like every
Die.
2 hours gets 100 likes on Instagram. So anything else I post on Instagram or on her TikTok or anything like that, it's just like it's not even being shared in the algorithm because they're not done sharing the Easter video
It's
yet.
destroyed my TikTok.
Like,
It,
I didn't.
destroyed it.
I was gonna be happy. Like my goal for the year was like to get 300 likes on an Instagram video, but I just crushed 6,000. So like, what do I even like? How do I set a new goal from it? It's so unrealistic. I told Shelby like we just got to start throwing stuff at the wall, and eventually something will stick, like the Easter egg did.
I'm just gonna throw
So-
shrimp at the wall now.
Yeah,
Well,
we got
the way TikTok works is once you find your niche, you have to just do this over and over and over and over again. Like
I saw
once
that.
you've gone viral, that's your niche. You can't do anything outside of there. Everybody would expect that exact video over and over again.
Yeah, I told Grant how strange TikTok is, and I showed him a video the other day, and it was just some lady. She's like, going out to dinner, and then
Going
the
out to
husband
dinner.
is like, going out to dinner, and then the kid's like, going out to dinner, and they're like, we're going out to dinner, and that was it. 700,000 likes on it. 700,000. I was like, I gotta do
And
it.
this is
Say we're
why
going
I-
out to dinner.
Don't watch television or any of that.
Yeah. But
So that's
Question everything.
Oh
have
my
you seen
God.
the National Star Wars Day and Here's My Girlfriend one?
no.
No.
Oh my goodness!
Stuck
This
on
guy
a
has his
Johnny
girlfriend
Depp.
sitting on his lap, and he's like, "Hey, it's National Girlfriend, or it's Happy National Star Wars Day, and here's my girlfriend." So like somebody put like an arm where he has a gun to her head, and then like somebody else like put him like her tied up, like her legs with him tied up. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
And then, so our Instagram is at the Garden of Eater, and I think we're less than 50 followers away from a giveaway. When we hit 2K, I'm going to do some type of question, and the first person to get it right will get a $100 gift card to the Garden of Eater or TGOE shrimp.com. So follow all of us, and I thought it'd be cool maybe I do the giveaway. You got to go to chance to find out who wins or something like that. So we need to do more collabs in between one another on different platforms for sure, other than just doing this here on YouTube. So, and then
So
we
how
got,
many viewers did we have today? How many viewers?
I think 22 and at once.
22?
Not sure.
All right.
At,
So-
at one time.
If we get up to we do. If we get up to 50 viewers at one time, if one of these streams, I'll give away a $25 plant pack. I'll pay for shipping and a $25 plant pack.
And then I'll do a $25 card too.
Perfect.
And I'll do a $25 box of Aquachar.
All right.
Three
Yeah.
winners.
So
All right.
wait, no, that should be 75.
I agree. So let's get to 75 people, 75
Because
viewers at
it's-
one
That
time.
works.
Our stream on Monday hit 50 people, so
Perfect.
we should be able to get
Perfect.
75. But
Perfect.
it's like timing. We got to get people to know. Like somebody, it was somebody that just posted on here. The Nano Aquarium guy, I believe, commented on our last stream. It was like, "Oh man, I missed you guys. I didn't know this was going on. I hope you guys do more." And I commented, I'm like, "We actually are doing another one in 47 minutes. Hope to see you there." So I believe that was him. But yeah, so we just need more people to know that we're getting on, and they'll definitely time in and join us more, because I think that's what everybody knows is every Monday we're doing it at 9. So if we know every second Wednesday. We're going to be doing it on this channel, and then every other Wednesday we do it on Chance's channel. People will know where to go, or just know Wednesday nights they'll be talking to us. So, what are you laughing about?
I clicked on my phone. I saw myself on
Oh,
my phone. I looked up real quick and then scared the crap out of myself when I looked back at the phone. Oh.
so yeah, we need a TikTok of Chance just killing mosquitoes.
We need to go to Ireland now. Hopefully, we can visit you in Ireland one time. That's awesome.
Who's in Ireland?
Michelle. North
I'll go
of
to
Ireland.
Ireland.
What's north
I'll
of
go to-
Ireland?
Oh,
I'll go there and tell you.
It's beautiful.
I need to work on my accent.
You'd fit in pretty well. He's a ginger, if you can't tell, so he fits in a little bit better.
But somebody watching a video, eh? On their phone?
What's that?
You watching a video on your phone?
I was looking for the Star Wars Day one. I was about to send it to
Oh.
you.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
heard Riley Reed's voice. Never mind.
Oh man.
Now we're welcome. We have to go.
What happened? Oh.
Sorry.
We'll be more than welcome.
My grandpa
Nice.
goes every few years and like stays in a different castle. But
Do you guys have
Other than
mosquitoes? If you have no mosquitoes, I'll go.
I think Florida's like the biggest problem with mosquitoes besides like South America.
Oh, there's
but
lots of
Shelby
places.
loves her
Man,
potatoes,
they're
so
rough.
I'm sure.
Nigeria, they kill you.
Did you just say something about potatoes? Are you referring to Ireland having
Yeah.
a lot of potatoes?
Yeah, they're known for their potatoes.
I do like potatoes.
But
Every form of them.
I do think it's getting late, and tomorrow is a big day for us. We got to bag up all the shrimp and everything for Aquaticon. So I wanted to do some stuff tonight. Forgot all about the live stream, and then at 9 o'clock, I looked at Shelby. I was like, "What time is it? We got the live stream tonight." And she's like, "And yeah, we had
Watching
plenty
American
of
Horror
time."
Story. It
But
was
yeah,
great.
so thank you guys, everyone, for watching and stepping by, and anybody who managed to rewatch and made it this far. Thank you guys so much. Remember, we'll be doing this every second Wednesday here on the Garden of Eater channel with Chance and Brian and Shelby and myself with Team Aquascape Florida. So,
All right, signing out with the final score of Mosquito 17 3.
so any last final words, Brian?
All right. Bye, Brian.
All right, bye guys.
And Brian, you don't have to leave. You can stay in the chat for a second. You don't have to
All
sign out. We can talk behind the scenes when everybody's gone. But
Thank you, everybody.
have a good night. We'll see you guys at Aquaticon. If not, we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Not next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Later, y'all.